And we are live. Welcome everyone to the stream. I hope everybody is having a great day. But unfortunately, I just loaded up this Webull pre-screener and I saw this. Does anyone else see the problem here? While I reset this this Epic Pen. Epic Pen, good little thing. If anyone wants to know what I use Epic Pen. Wowzers, look at that Roku, guys. Nasty, nasty. Kathy Wood will not be happy today if she still owns that thing. 7.67% down in the pre-market. It's getting off to a red start there. What else have we got? We've got Becton BDX down 4.56. We've got CI up down 3.88. And then BioNTech, Moderna also down 3.47. Now, Moderna. That is the discussion point. Let's have a look here. Just the ups. Let me check the earnings report as well. I want to just have a quick look there. So Moderna before the open, I assume the result's out. I actually haven't looked yet. Guys, is the result out for Moderna? I should have checked that one. That was one of the stocks that I definitely wanted to look at today. Let's have a look at the Moderna. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, I should say. 3.56 pre-market 404. I wonder if the result's out. We've got Bradley back coming with $2 straight away. Thank you very much, Bradley. Why are pandas greedy and beavers patient? Do I say greedy panda? I think I say greedy panda. Who knows, man? Because beavers build dams and pandas kill bamboo forests. Does that make sense? I think that's why. Pandas just so greedy, man. They just want that bamboo all for themselves. I saw one when I went to China. They were pretty cool. Pretty cool pandas. Synth Deck, Australian $5.99. Finally, I can give back to the channel on iOS. Yes, thank you very much for that. Google, appreciate it. I think actually this big change of allowing super chats, as we see streaming getting bigger on YouTube, I believe that's also going to help their earnings on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm actually pretty bullish on the Googles. I love the Alphabet. I think they've got the hidden AI robotic play for, of course, cars as well, behind Tesla. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, SynthDeck. Appreciate your support. And that's right, guys. iOS now has super chat functionality. So the markets here are interesting this morning. We're up 0.13%, 0.2%. It could be the most boring markets we've ever seen from the market indices. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than this. Look at the US 500. This is a daily. When was the last time we had this thing trapped like this? I can't even remember since the pandemic. It has not been trapped like this range. Maybe here? How many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll say it was trapped pretty much. And here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 days of basically nothing going on the big market, the S&P 500. Now, for anyone that's new, we've been trapping this thing on the SPX. Use the real market. Don't use the fake market futures. For anyone that's new, fake market futures sucks. We've got Victor Benilla says, going to work with Tom on the radio. Actually, I was on TV today, guys. That's right, TV. It was pretty good. I checked it out. It's funny. I always forget how different it is on the television. It's not like YouTube. It's not this kind of personal reaction. It's obviously just you're there to say something very, very quickly, and you say it, and you get about 30 seconds, and then people are yelling at you saying, T-minus 2 minutes, 2 minutes to go. And you're just like, oh my goodness. It's not that casual chat, kind of casual feeling that we do get here. So look, this morning, what do we got to say? We're waiting for non-farms. We saw some big bazooka action going on silver and gold. We'll be talking about that and more soon. We'll obviously be talking about the S&P 500 and how it's Trappapalooza'd. We'll be talking about the IWM and the fact that there's weakness here. If we get under the 217, watch out. Watch out, markets. That's going to be a big one. We'll be talking a little bit about crypto as well. Crypto taking a small dive here this morning. Is it a bigger pullback? We'll have to find out. And we've got a question coming in here saying, what do you think about Facebook with the morning star on daily chart at FX Evolution? All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Facebook. Roku I want to look at as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Not bad. I mean, ideally with these kind of setups, you see a gap down, then you have it, then you get a gap up. And you have had the gap up here, which is important. Gap down, yes. It's kind of not really gap down. It's kind of gapped up, then sold off. But yeah, nothing's ever perfect in TA. So yeah, this is the type of strength that you would like to see in a stock like this. Do I like it a lot? Not a lot, but I do like it enough to think that you're correct about this type of TA. And if you took it a decent statistic amount of the time, you'd be fairly correct. You'd be fairly correct. This one over here probably made more sense for the time of year. You guys know I'm kind of shutting down a little bit here on the tech stocks. I love the tech stocks. I love them a lot, but I don't love the pricing on quite a few of them. And I think it's not being unrealistic to think that the pricing is getting a little carried away. We had the earnings. They barely moved a lot of them. They ran into them. And while I think they'll run again and everything will be great, I'm looking for that little bit of a pullback first. And that just comes with my experience in the markets. I'm cool just to chill. A little bit here. Britsu says, I hate it when YouTube doesn't show your stream to me. Well, Britsu, you need to click that, was it the alarm button? You need to click the other alarm button. Otherwise, YouTube won't send it to you. That's the thing. Was I on Sky News? I was on Ticker News, I think. I think that's, yeah, Ticker News. Thank you very much, Marvin the Martian. Appreciate those super chats coming through here this morning as well, guys. Quite a lot of stuff going on. And then we've got Andre Chernish saying Ethereum 2.0 is now live. Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Like, realistically, Ethereum's pretty exciting. Now, a lot of people always talk about the flippening and stuff when it comes to crypto, and they talk about BTC dominance, Ethereum dominance, and a lot of crowds get really upset in the middle. I would like to say this about my opinion on both. I like both coins. I like them both, guys. Why can't we just like both of them, you know? I see Ethereum as the working project of cryptocurrencies, and BTC is the store of value. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to like both for different reasons? I think it's okay. The community should never be split between them. I think the only thing that's a little bit upsetting about Bitcoin is obviously that it gets kept back from doing a lot of technological innovation. And that's because they're very, like, I like how Ethereum's pressing forward all the time. That's one of the big things I am a fan of. Look, this pullback here, it's coming back down to, I guess you would say, like a support level. Previous resistance acting as support. You need to see a bounce here. For day traders, they're going to be dialing into something like a 15-minute market, and they're going to be looking for this type of thing. So they're going to be looking for the trough, the peak, the higher trough, and then we're looking for a closure above the peak that then can signal that they can take further longs, further positions. At this stage, a bit of weakness coming through both coins. Do I like the coins at these levels? Not particularly. I think Ethereum probably presents the better case, and Bitcoin still has some potential weakness in it here. I don't mind if Bitcoin kind of consolidates for a while and then breaks high, and 42.5 still remains one of the things that I've got an alert set for to look for a close. That's going to be a monumental day, and I look forward to streaming it with the community as well out there. I certainly do. Let's have a quick look at the Roku. Now, supposedly yesterday I missed a super chat for $2 on Hood. So my opinion on Hood was it was, basically a hype play. It certainly moved a lot. You'll notice it did 50%. At one point, it was up 60 or 70 or something like that. Then it was down to about 30. Then it was up. We'll have a look at it very, very soon and check out the pre-market there. So Roku hit the resistance. Now, today, it's going to open up underneath the previous resistance support. So we have a 394 resistance support level. We're going to open at 388. Interesting zone. Will it instantly take some buyers? I haven't read the report. I don't know how good or bad this report is, but this is a pretty decent sell-off here. It's going to go underneath the previous one. There's a lot of Roku fans, so I'm wondering whether it buys up initially and does rally for the gap. That's going to be an interesting, kind of analysis to look at. A lot of these tech stocks that have been missing, though, haven't been initially rallying. So be careful there, guys. I think we've got to be careful. It's very, very important to do so. We've got a question here. What's a good time to buy the dip? HOFV. Hall of Fame Entertainment Resort. Wow. Had that epic runs on it. Had some big pumpy dumpies. This is a pumpy dumpy stock indeedy. I don't like this at all. This is more of a catching a falling knife kind of play at this stage. You've broken through very, very key support, which is this $3. You're at $2.71. There's nothing much holding it till $2. So you would think that this is kind of in a bit of a negative trend here. Got earnings coming up as well. Maybe the market's preempting a bad result there. So HOFV, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan. Brett C, fence it up. I'm loving this range trading stuff. Are you talking about the S&P 500 there, Brett C? You're talking about the S&P 500? Which one? Very, very interesting. We've got Mark Lynn says Etsy. All right, let's have a look at Etsy. So we've got quite a lot of stocks. I think today we're already kind of sure what we're doing with the S&P. We know the S&P is trappity trapped. We've trapped it as a community. We've got that thing snake bound, and it doesn't know what it wants to do. And the problem when you don't have a market that knows what it's doing is it's very difficult for us to say, okay, we're super bullish or we're super bearish. And that's the thing. The price action is telling us neutralized. We've got to go and look. Oh yeah, trade the range on the S&P. We trading the range is fine. Nothing wrong with that. We either wait for the breakout and then take advantage of our knowledge on that, or we go and pick specific stocks. That's the kind of thing we've got to do. So Etsy here down 11.7%. Now, I think this was a fair put play, and a lot of the reason why it was a fair put play is because of the Amazon result. You know, Amazon got bashed. That means across the board, we're seeing weakness here in the consumer discretionary. Etsy was always going to cop a hiding as well. And I think a lot of the other stocks will probably cop hidings as well that are in this space. So Etsy down to 178 coming into the previous resistance support line. I'm not surprised. When it rallies in, I think this was a better put play than a call play. And I kind of want to discuss this topic as well with how people take trades into these earnings announcements. So how do you guys take it? Do you buy short-dated calls, short-dated puts to take advantage of potentially large swings? Because let's say with this Etsy one, the implied volatility in what's happened today. So yesterday it closed about 6.11%. Let's say you buy a Friday call or a Friday put. If you actually bought both yesterday around these prices, you would be up. You could have actually straddled this. Now, you're never going to know that something's going to be such a drastic result, but when you're having a rally like this, we know that we had that initial weakness that came into the stock because of the Amazon play, and then it comes back up. We've got to put two and two together. Someone said the other day, they were talking about Uber. Let's have a look at Uber quickly. So Etsy opening up on support, you expect bounce there. So Uber's here 4.21% down. Now, I haven't read the report. I don't particularly care about Uber. You guys know I hate this stock, and I think it's an absolute terrible stock, really. But if we think about Dash, okay, Dash is opening up 0.57% down. Now, do we go and have a look at the Uber result? Why is it going down? Is it because they didn't add enough clients? Do we think they got stolen, like AMD stealing share on Intel? What's the reason? And then you can actually bring together a very fair idea of your plan to how do you battle the earnings result here. You know what I mean? It's very, very important. Silverliner says, I made bank on yesterday. I bought on the open and sold near the top. Well done, Silverliner. Great to hear that. Great to hear that. Russell W says, Tom's camera has been off for about 9 days. S&P in range for 9 days. My TA suggests Tom is controlling the market. Yeah. I'll be on camera tomorrow. I actually was trying to press it on today, but for some reason it didn't work. I was going to come on, but yeah, it didn't work for me. Tomorrow I'll be on. It's all good. Scott Garnham, I found it interesting to hear a radio ad for Amazon back to school sale. I feel it notable Amazon needs to advertise during traffic news. Interesting. And then we've got Rob C saying, I took my hood tendies last night at the close. Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I'd be locking all in. I don't even care if that thing was up today. You'd be feeling pretty good. When you see a stock like this and it goes from 34 all the way up to 84, 85, the hype equity, let's have a look at the hype equity here on a stock like this. Let's press the refresh button. Okay, let's find out where the hype's at today, guys. Well, no surprise, it's hood and then AMD. Now, AMD is the battle of the titans right now. So, I famously kind of thought here that around 100 105 would keep them down. But I was wrong. Like, the social media chatter score went out of control. And that's the power of not using a technical with having a look at the amount of options that could expire worthless. I will say this, though, yesterday, and I shared this with my private community, with the AI robot we've got in there. The amount of puts that were open at 120, 125 yesterday were quite notable. So they were big players. Like, we're talking 500,000 premiums, short-dated big premiums for AMD. So it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong right now with AMD. They're definitely having a fight. And look at all these stocks. It's so specific. These are the stocks that have been performing the best here. We've got such specific stocks and huge amounts of social scores on them. It just proves that retail really is playing a big part in moving the markets right now. And it's important that we know which stocks are moving on retail, and you've got to make a decision whether you want to go with that and you want to go with the apes, the strong apes, or whether you don't want to fight the apes. I think that's one thing. Don't fight the apes, guys. And only fight the apes when you see the big hammer coming down on them. And I actually would not go with fighting the apes. I think it's a big mistake, like, that people are probably making. You fight the apes, you're kind of doing your brothers and sisters bad, because they're just trying to take some money from nasty Wall Street. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Just trying to take a little bit of money from nasty Wall Street. At the end, unfortunately, a whole bunch of apes will have their $500 worth of hood equity. They'll never get out of. But you know what I mean. It's don't fight the system, but go and look a little bit elsewhere. That's what I would be looking at. Look at the elsewhere. Whenever all the focus is somewhere else, possibly there's some credit to be made somewhere else. It's much, much easier. Rick Etsy says, I sold the hood too soon. Look, you're probably never going to know that hood's... I mean, who's going to know that hood's going to $85? I mean, yesterday I would have been loving $70. I would have been loving $80 even more. This is probably one of those ones that you're thinking about scaling. It's down 66. If we have a look here at the 5-minute chart, you'll notice the big swing. It went 85 to 57 to 73. So just remember, there's always another opportunity. Look at AMC right now. Hideous. Horrible. AMC, it's getting obliterated. Like, I know it's up here in the market 1.61% today, but this is nasty stuff, guys. I mean, from a TA perspective, this thing looks doomed back to $20. Closed underneath the 32. And as the money goes into AMD, it goes into hood, it goes into Moderna and everything else. It's just killing these old short sell stocks. Look at GME. Terrible. TA just nasty. I mean, you're basically just trying to buy random dips if you're buying these levels. I mean, if you can make some point of why you like 146, then you can tell me. But I think you're getting more lucky than anything else. The money is moving all over the place, and this is part of the game that really comes through here. We've got a couple of super chats coming in. Thank you very much, Andrew Fakashia, Canadian, $5. Hey, Tom. Focaccia. Well, I think I called you Focaccia last time. Wait, so it is Focaccia. So you got like kind of like the bread. I love Focaccia. Looking for your opinion on NUR. Can move on such low volume. I'm bullish based on fundamentals. Thoughts on technicals. Cool, man. Well, I like the fact that you've bought the fundamentals and the technicals together, man. Sounds like you've got a bit of a longer term plan on this. Because you have given me Canadian money, I'm going to assume it is on the exchange here. So you're bullish on the fundamentals. Now, are we bullish on the technicals? This is a great question. Let's take a look here. Let's have a look at the weekly just to get started. So firstly, this company is very small. So Nuran Wireless is only $44 million. it's going to be a lot harder for you to correctly use technicals on a penny stock, which this is. I mean, there's no doubting 44 million is very small on the stock market. And because of that, you want to take a little bit less real thought process into a lot of the things we discuss. So we discuss all sorts of different indicators, 20 moving average, 50. We obviously discuss sometimes RSI, MACD, all these things. Ignore them all. They're all useless here, okay? The only thing that matters on a stock like this is the psychological levels. So you'll notice that it has problems with certain zones. It hit 350. Every 50 cents matters because it's past $1. That's just how these stupid stocks trade. Why does it stop at $1.50 and buy up? Because this stock likes 50-cent marks. It's trading off support at $2. It's hit $2.50 a few times. We've hit the $3 mark a few times. We've hit, of course, the $3.50. So these are the targets that you want to be. It's basic ape technology. It's human nature to go for these rounds. Now, what you want to know is if you're thinking about rounds, you might want to stop slightly earlier and take 1 to 2 cents early so you don't get stuck in some kind of bad trade. I don't mind the fact that it's on support at 2. That's good. So from a weekly perspective, that's what I'm looking at. It's solidified whatever the hell this was, which was some crazy earnings. It's pumpied, it's dumpied a little bit. Now have we seen enough strength coming through the market? Well, the first thing I like about this is that if it gets past 230 here, although it's generally stopped at 250, I kind of feel like the base here is very strong. So if this base does go through, we close, we're effectively taking this range, let's call it from a channel perspective, and that would pinpoint a higher point than the two. That actually would probably pinpoint here. Let me just have a quick look. Probably just above. Oh, damn. All right, so it pinpoints perfectly to that 262 area. There's going to be problems maybe at 250 initially, but yeah, look, that would be a strong breakout. And then if it does go to the next level, you've got pretty much $3 in the bag once it goes through here, because technically it should go on a very big ramp. You'll also want to see an increase in volume coming through with this, so ideally volume. But yeah, $2 is a very decent buy zone. It's not exactly making a series of lower highs too much. I mean, you've got a slightly lower high here than over here, and obviously the peak over here. You don't really have like a descending channel, a descending triangle or anything like that yet. So the price action is not great at $2, but there are buyers here. If it gets underneath $2, unfortunately, it may spike down to as low as the 150 mark. But 150 is going to be strong. $2 is relatively okay. Hopefully that helps you out there, Andrew, on one of these days. Then we got Ciara447 saying net, one of my favorites, the old Cloudflare. Look, I think Cloudflare, great stock. Last earnings report, if I remember rightly, actually the one here, sorry, the February one, they sandbagged their earnings. Okay, then the earnings disappointed again. And I think they're kind of going conservative. Now, the stock's gone crazy, but I don't really like the earnings reports they've been putting out. So it just, look, because the valuation's really high here. I think we've seen this in the big tech stocks. The big tech stocks absolutely smashed it. Ask yourself the question here, and this is something that I usually think about before I go into an earnings session. Has the stock market gone up huge? If it has, then can it sustain that kind of gain with the types of price to sales, which is pretty much the ratio you're looking at here? Net needs to be acquiring hard. Love the stock. You guys know cybersecurity. It's close to my heart like biotech. It's close to my heart like Stupid Square and other great fintech and just technology companies. I love all these things. But yeah, I think that's a big rally. 65 to 120 after the earnings in May. It's going to need to knock it out of the ballpark, and I don't know whether net can do that. So it's a time for you to make decisions on what's your plan. Is your plan to scale? Is your plan to maybe think about putting in protection? There's all sorts of things you can do there. Yi Liang says, Tom, lockdown at Vic again. Oh my God. I know. I actually was meant to, the reason I was trying to turn the webcam on is I wanted to come on with the mask on and say I couldn't see you guys because I was so locked down. Yeah, man. Anyway, doesn't matter. Shout out to all the Australians in lockdown. Unfortunately, we are in lockdown right now. I'm over it, but anyway. Charles Gibby, $5. Haven't seen the fence in a while. Pullback confirmed. Man, I'm not putting the fence on nothing. There's no fence coming out here, Charles. I'll put the fence down when it needs to go down, but as you know, it doesn't mean to. Then we've got Victor Vanilla, Tom to the moon. Smash the like button. Thanks so much. By the way, you guys are smashing it. It's I've got hopefully some cool announcements next week. I'm working on some stuff for the private community as well for you guys here. Look, we're always trying to strive for improvements. So if you guys have improvements, you've seen a cool piece of technology that it's free and you want to share it with the community, sharing's caring, guys. So we've got some great ones. I mean, I didn't have Koifin, very good free software. If you're wondering where I get all those reports, so the ones like, not that one, like this each day, Koifin, guys. I'm not sponsored by them. I just think it's cool. Trading Views, the platform I use, click down that one. You got to click the link somewhere in the description. You got to click the link before purchasing. It helps me out. But yeah, no, I do appreciate it, guys. Remember, always share as much as you can. It does. I think it makes a big difference. We've got Sandollar77, a big supporter of the channel, coming with $4 super sticker. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Anon San says, thoughts on shorting net into earnings? I think you want to use risk parameters on that. And generally that is going to be around trying to figure out some kind of option place. You've got to, like, it's really tough there. Oh, that's a good one. Ape Technology. Has that been taken? I kind of like that. Ape Technology. Did I say that or did you just come up with it? I'm going to type that down. That is now copyrighted by me. That's pretty funny though. Ape Technology. I like that one. We've got Ulrich Nielsen, DKK, $20. UiPath thoughts. ARK continues to accumulate. All right. You've been watching ARK's accumulation circle. Have they been accumulating anything that's been going up at the moment, or has most things just kind of been going down? Yeah, look, this stock is definitely doing the right type of accumulation pattern. I like this quite a lot from an accumulation patterns perspective. We have a good resistance here at 64. This company's worth $31.5 billion, by the way, so it's not exactly small. But yeah, I like the supports. I like the fact that it's making a series of higher lows. I'd love to see the volume kind of get through a little bit bigger here. And the great news is if it does close past 64, it'll also be smashing past the 20 moving average. And the 20 moving average has been the bane of this stock. This stock sucks on the 20. So I think it just stops. It starts and stops here on the daily. It's all about the 64. And I quite like the accumulation that's occurring here. So yeah, breakout occurs. We could see a bit of a ramp. We will add path into the longer term plan here and we'll bring that up. And why not? We've seen some pretty good movement actually in the more recent ads. Look at crowd. Okay. Thank you very much, Ulrich. Detra ED says, yes, it's the pump and dump time in this market. I agree. Oh, there's pump and dump all over the place. Very specific stocks. Pumpy, dumpy across the board. I made $3,000 in 45 minutes on Hood yesterday and sold. Now, Silver, I want you to put that aside. I want you to start scaling and I want you to protect your money. Okay, Silver? Now, I didn't tell you this, guys, but I once had a dude. He's a crazy guy. And he came in and he was doing some sessions with us. And this guy, I absolutely tell no word of a lie here. He did one session and he goes, I understand it. I said, you don't understand nothing. And he goes away, comes back the next morning. Guess what? I said, what, man? Made $200,000. I said, doing what? He goes, following what I understood from yesterday. I'm like, you might want to protect that right now. I was like, you shut that down. You shut that down, right? Like, that is the biggest warning sign I've ever heard in my life. Like, you've got to be careful. Anyway, of course, what do you think happened, guys? What do you think happened? Do you think that he shut down or do you think he went crazy? Yannick Yevs, CHF. We love CHF cash here. Very worth a lot. The old CHF. He says, hey, Thomas, ONEM and ADCT. No worries, man, Yannick. Thank you very much for your support, as per usual. Having a bit of a casual stream here today, guys. I know it's 29 minutes to the market open, but what are we looking at? We've got Roku in crazy looking, smashing. It got smashed. We've got Etsy getting smashed into support. We've got the Hood War. We've got AMD, which we'll be looking at very soon. And then we've got the SP 500 stuck in a massive channel. So let's have a look here at ONEM. I actually like these super chats today because it's opening up some stocks here that we're not always discussing. This is not too bad. You've got trough, peak, high trough, and then, of course, trying to get that higher peak through with the close. The key here is the close. 20 moving average has also been a bit of a problem. Yep, volume improving. Earnings, I assume, is getting... Oh, earnings smashed it through here, so 6.3. A little bit of volume sneakiness the last couple of days. So 29.70. Where does that put our line? Looks like earnings got it through here. 29.70. I would kind of prefer it sells off a little here. Like, you've got your plan. I mean, your plan's probably 32. But I would like to see it kind of go like this. Hit the 20 in the previous peaks, or at least get down to the 29, and then rally into ideally the 32 level. So that would be very, very cool if that happened. ONEM, interesting. Kind of the earnings pushed it through there. And then ADC Therapeutics. That might have been a good case where you could say, oh, I'm looking to scale. So ADC is a little bit tricky because we've obviously had in previous analysis here, I remember this stock, we went to the weekly and tried to do it. This is probably a bit dangerous from the perspective of we should, no, I'd probably stick with that line. I know why I drew it because there was a lot of gaps and then closure downs. So it's come back and it's done a double support. So you're looking at a big double bottom here. It's starting to rally very, very hard. You've got a 26 level. Earnings obviously has come out, so you might want to go check that out because this stock has a long runway. So this earnings has come out, it started moving, and you had a big run with another big run, and you might think, oh, I've missed out on it. Well, the thing with this stock is if it ever does get through this resistance, I mean, this thing has a runway on it that's very large. I mean, you've got a massive double bottom. You've got the double bottom's going to prove to $30. It's $5 in distance. You can see that from 20 to 25. So it's going to prove to 30, which is a lot of resistance support previously. Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't mind it. I can see why you're liking it. I think it's got more runway. It looks like more runway on the TA side. We've got Richard Resendez said, good morning. Good morning, Richard. Great to have you here. Then we've got Big Dipper says, Market Watch, August 5th, 2021. Senators move to exempt Bitcoin crypto miners from proposal US tax rules. Okay. Buy the rumor for all these Bitcoin miners. Yeah, well, I wonder, actually, is anything moving off that? Seems really bizarre they would do this. Not sure about that one. Kim Lim says we can talk coffee during lockdown. I'm so busy, Kim. Even like lockdown, schmockdown, really. The only thing it ruins is my weekends. I mean, other than that, I feel bad for the businesses, guys. The little businesses. I got some friends that own gyms and stuff. They're getting smashed. It's terrible. Australia and gyms. Australia says no to gyms. It's really bad. And people are saying he lost it all. That's right. He lost quite a lot of it. Yep. He gave it back. So the lesson there is most people give it back. And that's why you've got to protect. First you attack, then you protect. That's the words there. A Bone says, AMD. Yeah, we'll do that. We will do that. Just make sure I'm caught up here. I almost am. We've got Alec Diefenbach says Australian $6.90. Thank you very much for those very generous $6.90 donations there, man. Hey, Tom. D. Fenbark. So I said his name wrong. I say everyone's name wrong, man. Thank you very much. D. Fenbark. CSL, please. I'm holding IMU and PTX. Looking for more stable health bio long-term hold. Nice, man. I love bio. CSL. I assume you mean the Australian stock. I'm really hoping you're... Because IMU is obviously an Australian. Look at this. Look at this IMU. I have a few people that have this IMU. Big move to 50, but have a look where it was. It's a very nice return, this one. So a lot of people were purchasing this one around this area here, about 3.5 cents. And it ran up quite nicely to about 48. Yeah, probably too hard, too fast. But anyway, let's go over to CSL. So this is a great company. Unfortunately, they got labeled with the AstraZeneca vaccine, and that has not been great for them. Look, I like CSL. It's been holding for quite some time. I guess from my perspective is I could see it breaking out relatively soon. It's consolidating here on the daily. And then if it does kind of get above this level, I expect a fair rally, get a little bit of pressure here around the 300, and then hopefully breach out. It's been sitting for quite some time. So if you actually take a look at CSL, it's been sitting now since really January 2020. It's done nothing. So this is one of Australia's best companies. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people have this thing at $3 in their portfolio and $2, and that best split a few times as well. So it's an Apple style gain here. You can really see that gain that occurred over the last couple of years. But it's no Moderna from instant gains up with Moderna. I like this company. I think it's got a bright future. I don't think it's going to act as like 100% per year, but it's a lot more stable the way I see it. And I think the government's going to really invest in health in Australia as well, and really try to push that as one of our big competitive advantages in the world. So we've got the trough, we've got the peak, we've got the higher trough, we've got earnings coming up, and I would like to see it break above here, and I think that will start a fair rally on it up to this point at least, and then after that point, I'm hoping to get back to the 323 kind of 40 zones for CSL. And I am positive on this, yes. So, Ambone says AMD. Let's do AMD for you right now. Let's have a look at the old AMDs. So, first things first. There was a massive attack from Wall Street yesterday. Puts were open, guys. Let me just read some of these puts. Let me read some. Where am I? All right. I'm going to bring up some puts that were open near the close. Okay. So, we've got AMD put 120 strike. Expiry 17th of the 9th. $330,000. Okay, that's a pretty big one. Then we've got AMD 115 strike, 20th of the 8th, $320,000. And then we've got two big put spreads. These are $500,000 each. 17th of the 9th, AMD 120 orders. Then we've got 120, 500,000 again, opened 17th of the 9th, 120 order. These are all puts. Buys. 120 again, 667,000, 17th of the 9th. Then we've got another put. I mean, it goes on and on and on. You know, the amount of puts that were attacked onto AMD yesterday was big. All on the 120 strike. Mostly expiring 17th of the 9th. Pretty impressive stuff. So some big strikes on... That's the biggest strike I've seen on AMD in quite some time. Now, you could read into it a few different ways, but the way I see it is that's an attack from big players in Wall Street trying to say, you know what? We're going to make some sweet cash out of you guys. Can you read it from a TA perspective? Look, I'm not betting either way. I'm not on the horse either way here at the moment on AMD. It ran further than I thought it would. I thought it would have a bit more of an attack, like a bit more of pressure around 105, 106. It just continued ramping due to the social pressure. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about AMD? Where's it destined to go over the next 2 weeks? Do you think it's going to 140? Or do you think those nasty Wall Street guys with their massive amount of puts are going to try to now pressure this thing down? Let me know. think it's going to be very hard for them to push it too much down underneath 100, by the way. I think 105, 106 would be a logical pullback here to the 20 moving average on the 4-hour. That would be something that's quite logical. We've got Ian Worthington selling AMD at 120. Nice call, man. I think that's pretty good. Is the lockdown political? I don't talk about politics. I don't know. I can only tell you from my perspective that it's getting a little bit lame. But it's only because I look at the finance, and I was saying it a long time ago we should have kept going with the vaccines. But anyway, not here to talk about that stuff. We're talking about finance, guys. Finance. Actually, it's one. This is correct. Chris Highsight says, no gyms. I'd be bullish on healthcare too. Look, man, my dentist friend, he messaged me the other day. He's pretty successful in dentistry, owns a few places. And he goes to me, he said, oh, Tom, I'm worried. I said, why? He goes, business is booming. I said, why are you worried then? He goes, oh, I think that this is going to slow down. I said, mate, do you know how many people have been locked in their houses for 12 months? I mean, most people's hygiene on their oral care is probably down. I said, dude, you have nothing to worry about. Obesity index is up. Things are looking bad for people's health. I mean, this pandemic stuff has taken a big toll on a lot of people. And he's worried about it. And to me, I hate to say it, but one of the reasons that I do buy healthcare and I do buy biotech and I do buy these types of things is because I can see it. If you look here at the Sol Active, obesity index, there's no denying this thing's on a rocket ship to the moon. I mean, this is a very strong play. If you're not aware of this, this is a very strong play. I mean, it's called Slim. Yeah, it's pretty powerful index, and it's not like this is the first time that this concept has come out. It came out of the global financial crisis as well. When we were getting locked down tonight, we called a place, and they were just flat out for takeaway. And I think it's because, and everyone they were just flat out. And I think it's just because people are just like, I'm going to eat some greasy food. I'm pissed off being in lockdown. The reality is that this is one of the plays. You may hate it. You may downvote the stream for it, whatever you might do. But this is something that I've been looking at since the pandemic began. It was one of my major thesis points that I went, if we're going into a crash, unfortunately, this type of index is going to be one of the keys. Now, how well has this returned? Let's have a look at this. It's returned 119%. Okay, so 119%. Let's actually compare it. Let's compare whether it's been that much better. All right, so here is the return of the S&P 500 from the bottom to the top so far. It's 100%. So has it been like amazing? No. I just think it was, in my opinion, it was a very solid concept, and it continues to be a solid concept. And healthcare plays into that a little bit, yeah. Huey said, why am I not all in Slim? Yeah, a lot of people don't know about the Sol Active Obesity Index. And then Scott Morgan says, what? You can buy shares of obesity? No, it's not you're buying shares that benefit from it. It's pretty immoral. It's immoral, guys. It's not really immoral, I guess. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. You know what I don't do? I don't buy those gambling stocks very often. Nope. No. Nah, I've already told you guys which one I don't buy. I never buy James Hardy. James Hardy. I do not buy James Hardy. And I have my own personal reasons for that. And I will never buy the stock. Sound Whisperer, $5. No message, but thank you very much, Sound Whisperer. Let's see if one of the mods picked it up. You're lucky, because one of the mods certainly did. We've got here, or first I'll just answer David Taylor's question. He says, hi Tom, does your course teach options trading? So our course our course does have a little bit of options in it. It teaches the basics, and we're actually about to release our advanced options trading course. It'll be coming out over the next month and a half. That will go through every single one of the ways that we like to trade, where we like to trade. It's going to be exciting. I'll announce it for you guys when it occurs. What you want to do, though, with options is you really, really need to understand technicals as well, because technicals and options can go hand in hand, because a lot of the time you're going to be selling for credits. And when you're selling for credits, you need to know the resistances, you need to know the supports, and you need to be very well aware of where you're placing your credits and how you're placing your credits. So, yeah, David, we will be doing that. But the Ultimate Masterclass on our website's got tons of stuff. Stock, technical analysis, all the way from beginner, intermediate to advanced. It's all there. So we've got Sound Whisperer coming in here. It says, Tom, after the close yesterday, 18 orders of a total of 15,163,000, something like that, shares of Amazon at 3354.72. Pump and dump or run? 51 billion. Okay. I'm not sure if that saying there's that much money went in there. So after the close, a whole bunch went out. 18 orders. And that's a big amount. That's a big amount from Sound Whisperer saying here. Interesting. I would need to investigate that further. That's quite a lot of money coming into the system. Is anyone a bit more on that one, on that story? 51 billion coming out of Amazon in the close. Not bullish, that's for sure. I'm bullish Amazon long term. I think the only real threat to Amazon is going to be the government. Taxation and the government is the only threat really to this. Though I would see something like SE as being a real threat in certain countries for Amazon's expansion. But in terms of Amazon doubling down in the US and really just building out their offering, I think they're doing a good job. I don't really like Amazon at this level. I really don't. I know a lot of people are buying the dip here, but I think we've been very well conditioned to buy the dip. It's on the support, don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen like, wow, I'm feeling super bullish here or anything. This is crappy price action so far. Thank you very much, Sound Whisperer. Appreciate the $5. We'll see whether anyone else can answer that. Then we've got a couple of other super chats coming in here. I need to make sure I catch up here. We've done, Ulrich says, Pen ASX clutching to the daily. Let's have a look here. That is DKK20. Pen Energy. Oh, that is clutching. Yeah, Pen still just kind of looks a bit weak here. I guess you've got your 12.5 cent support. You've got your daily 200, which is probably what you're looking at here. It's looking mostly weak at this stage, Ulrich. I don't see too much strength, but very little price action here. That, as you know, every time we look at this stock, it's tough to read. The 200 daily would be the level I'd be looking at. Then we've got Cold Steel super chatting $5. Let's catch up here. Can you look at LTCN Litecoin? Oh, Litecoin Grayscale Trust. Yeah? 16.95. Well, how bad's actually LTC right now? I don't understand that LTCN Litecoin, why it's like that. This doesn't look half bad. Got a pretty nice resistance here. Double bottom style play. If it turns around, 147-ish, closure above. Should activate some Litecoin hype. 160 the next target. And then you've got 180 as the next one after that. And then 200 every $20 for Litecoin. But I'm not sure what's going on with that LTCN Cold Steel. Yeah, that was weird. That thing is disgustingly sick. What was Litecoin trading at when October? Let's have a look here. LTC, crypto, October. Huh. I don't understand. Maybe something sick in the business itself. And then we've got Ping Pong, $2.99. SPCE. Wowzers. I didn't know we were allowed to cover that stock anymore on this channel. SPCE, up 0.55%. Look, it's accumulating with very little volume. This one is a social score, chatter play only. From a technical perspective, I just, you come on, man. We don't like this stock here. I think it's too early for space stocks. I've said that several times. It's the 3D printer of 2013. Is it a good idea? Yes. Are you correct? Probably. Is it the right time? No. You know what I mean? If you want other examples, go look at the AI plays. Go look at the marijuana plays. Big brain ideas, bad timing. All about the timing in investment. If Cathie Wood had started her fund 10 years ago, she would have got smashed. She would have got destroyed. But because she's starting at the right time, well, she might have just been buying Amazon, Apple. I can't say what she'd be buying. If she was buying those, she would have absolutely cleaned up. But you know what I mean? Like, it depends on the timing. The timing is the importance. And I think she's there at the right timing. We've got Sound Whisperers 1. We've got OL super chatting $5. Hey, Tom, I bought a call on gold. Oh, okay. Do you think it's going up or better to take the money out of it? KO level is around 1784. Okay, so with gold, it's going to be incredibly susceptible. Let's have a look at gold and silver now. It hit 1830 yesterday, which was our first kind of level. We knew this was a level. It ramped. I've got to say, that was fast. That was really fast. So it ramped up. It hit 1830, and then it got obliterated very quickly. And it's the same with silver. Silver hit on the stream. I remember I was crapping on about the 26. It hit the 26 just underneath 1 cent or something. And then it just got smashed straight after the stream. It was nasty business. Gold is consolidating ahead of non-farms. The dollar index, gold, and silver are so susceptible to non-farms. So you're either going to be slapping me in the face or you're going to be like, thank God. And that's a question you've got to come up with. You've got obviously risk management on your position. The question then becomes, do you want to go into the gamble, which is going to be non-farms? I mean, I don't know which way it's going to go. Who knows? I don't. I mean, maybe we'll ask the chat. Maybe the chat knows. Chat, which way is gold going to go after non-farm payrolls? We know that the initial bad number that came out, so this is the initial jobless number, or the job claims number was bad, new jobs, and that sent gold hurtling up, and then comments and some other news came out, and that sent it all the way back down. So theoretically, if the non-farmers jobs numbers miss, we should see gold spike. If they hit, theoretically, we should see gold get obliterated. So that's really what you're guessing on. And that's it. This is a fundamental position at this stage. And that's the risk on it. Oh, well. Then we've got Terry M. Hey, TRYM on the NZX Investing Perspective. Oh, thanks for adding that in. Appreciate that. Bloodbath McGrath says houses will be the best investment into the foreseeable future. I like housing too, man. I like it all, guys. In Australia, housing is very strong. In certain countries, housing is very strong. The stock market is very strong in America. Best market to trade in. Best market, guys. The US market, best market. However, the FTSE's not strong, guys. UK bros out there, you know, you know the FTSE's weak. The FTSE's weak, guys. Damn, too much oil, too much banks. But the US market has that tech, that delicious tech. But yeah, houses will be pretty good. Houses are supported in many countries by the government. And that does help them out. Oh my God, Sid's brutal. I'm not bringing your comments up here, Sid. That's nasty, nasty. Terry M, we'll do ROIM in a second here for you. I'm just kind of bringing you up here. Let's see if anyone had the answers to those questions. Yeah, Erica is correct here. Or Eric, sorry. Eric says, whoa, someone mentioned Carter short yesterday. It was 16.58% down. Yeah, that I was watching. I was like, oh, I wish I shorted it. I mean, I hate I hate it. I hate it. I thought it was a sugar rush. And that was a brutalization. Oh my goodness. Wowzers. 16.56%. That was a big, big destroyer that came through there. Monica says, in my opinion, gold is risky going into September. Yeah, I think just going into this one, it's really tough there. Silverliner says the stream is starting to seem like radio and it used to be like TV. Is that bad? Is that bad, Silverliner? I'm not sure. I guess it's because I'm reading the comments today. Look, I wish I could give you more. But tomorrow will be the real action day here. D-Dog. Oh, that's impressive. 134. Wow, people getting that for $70. So this actually has outperformed now my favorite Cloudflare. D-Dog was one of my favorites too back then, but I couldn't quite understand how much money they were going to make. When I was looking at their software and how it was like a maintenance software, I couldn't quite understand, like, to be able to see everything on one platform, and didn't really make sense to me how they were going to scale that through. But very impressive here, 133 for the D-Dog. Weird name though. I don't know if it can hold that level, but I haven't read the report, so I wouldn't be able to tell. Usually after this kind of gap, you would expect further decline. But if you like the D-Dog, 118 would be the level that you want to set things for. We've got some other people coming in with Fastly. Let's have a look at Fastly. Did it get through with it? Oh, 34.80. Oh, the Fastly bros. I got to say, this one here was super hyped, and it looks like they're getting destroyed. And there's a few big commentators out there that got this one smack bang correctly. They started pulling their Fastlys hard up here, and there were valid reasons to do with the management, and this was a very solid get the hell out kind of thing. We actually had a trade on it, if I remember right, around here to fill the gap. 34.78. Wow, so Fastly's gone back almost now to where it was in April 20. That's when a stock goes wrong, guys. Sorry for anyone in Fastly, that is not ideal. So $35. $35 coming back down here. Oh, too early to tell on that one, but yeah, that is pretty nasty. All right, let's do this RYM. Decent support. Nice weekly. I like that a lot. Double bottom potential, very much in play here. Here's the lows. Here's the intervening peak. Right around the support. It's not bad, man. Not bad. Size, $6.72 billion. This is a hospital nursing management thing. Yeah, that's not bad. Is this one of those stocks, obviously it got hit up by the pandemic, but many things did. Had a big rally, came back down. I just want to have a look at the history here. Like most of the stocks, they ran mid-cycle. This stock could be one of those ones that runs very nicely. See how it really starts taking off in 11, 12? So 12, a lot of these companies took off. So this is probably what nursing management, services, retirement, that kind of thing. I don't know, maybe it is in those types of things. But yeah, this is the point where you expect that thing to take off. So it may not be this year, it may not be next year, but in the next couple of years, you would expect this to be a relatively strong sector. I actually quite like that weekly close. Weekly with follow through. Very important. Nice. Yeah, not bad. Looks like it's improving. Decent amount of little bit of volume here. Conscious Investing says no camera has something to do with it. Yeah, I'll put the camera on tomorrow. It's all good. Camera's coming on tomorrow. It's all good, guys. Oh, opening bell. My God. All right, here we are. We're ready. Not really. US 500 opens up at 44.13. Let me open the bell. There we go, guys. Oh, my goodness. It really is one of those days. I've been up for way too long. I said I'd be fresh today as well, but I guess I'm not. So what are the stories of this morning? Let's have a look around the Webull here and look at the percentage changes. We have quite a few coming down. Wow, Roku actually opens down 9%. That was getting beaten up there early. We've got Fastly probably down even more. Zoom's down 1.64%. Qualcomm down a little bit there. Moderna down 2.77%. Not as much move as I was expect. I'd be watching that Moderna. I reckon it could get obliterated. We'll see whether it does. And then we'll go over here to the percentage changes on the top side. So we've got HubSpot, 7.58. We've got Mali coming in strong here as well, the big ones. And Electronic Arts, the evil Overminds of Gaming up 4.32. JP Morgan also 1.19. Not too shabby there. So the market starts off and it comes back down. What do I expect for today? Not much, really. If I was going to go with one, I'd go with weakness, but what can you really tell? We're ahead of non-farm payrolls. It really depends on how the market wants to allocate into that. Tesla, for guys that are in this, you really need 726 to break and close above. That will be a big bullish sign here for Tesla. I would love to see that. Of course, 690 to 700 remains the support kind of buying area for it. And then we move over to IWM, still showing some weakness here. We're looking for a closure under 217 to show day trading weakness, I think there. QQQ at the tippity top. This is the point where bears will try to get control of it before non-farms. And you can just see everything's kind of critical. Every one of these positions is critical ahead of the big non-farms. Let's move over to the SPX here. I'll just show everyone the trap. There's the trap. Very, very clear on the 5 minute. It's trapped within these zones. We go over to the 1 hour. There it is. Let's scroll down through some more stocks here. So VIX is at 17.61, holding the support there on the trend line. Gold and silver untouchable at this point until we find out more from non-farms. US 10-year up slightly off some really bad falls. And then we go through the stocks here. So we've got Apple down a little bit. Amazon floating. Snow down to the 271. Must be getting to the roll reversal there. We've got Enphase down at 191. Microsoft down slightly. CRISPR. Oh, yeah, biotech. No, I forgot to mention that. Biotech started a good run yesterday. We did mention it during the stream yesterday. It was looking good. So have a look at Beam here. Beam is breaking out. And if you go to the daily, you'll see what I mean. Daily double bottom is in play. There's some government stuff going on here. And if we have a look at the 4 hour, this is the lightning bolt we were talking about yesterday. Trough, peak, higher trough, closure above, and it starts to rally. So there's a rally within a rally here on these types of stocks. These are not for the faint-hearted. You can lose 10% like that, like that, very, very quickly on these stocks. So yeah, very, very fast on how Beam and CRISPR initiate, but these are both very cool. You guys know I love the old biotechnology stocks, especially those CRISPR style ones. But look, overall, everything seems to be kind of down other than those stocks. Roku now only 8% down. Path, which we got bought up before, that looks to be trying to hold above and breach through this very nice pattern here. Congratulations if you're already in it. 4.41%. We'll see if that can hold. Hood down 10% here early. And the market's mostly flattish. So the story could be flat to down, I feel. We will see. Chris Arisso says, can you check AKAM, a Fastly competitor? Yeah, man, let's have a look. I haven't actually looked at this. Down 0.8% here in the morning. It already did get a dive. Let's have a look at Fastly. Not much you would think here. This has been range bound for quite some time. Hard to read that chart. Let's have a look at Fastly again. Oh, 22%. Previous resistance acting as the gap support here for Fastly. Do you buy the dead cat bounce? I think you'd want to read that report for sure. SE putting pressure on the upside here. This will be Klim's favorite. Klim loves this stock. You know, Klim brought up a great point here the other day. Did you know that SE sells off when the Chinese stocks sell off? Because I think it's Chinese stock. It's not, guys. But it's funny. Singapore. Brett C, banks close green today? Probably. I mean, with the 10-year being up, it's about the 10-year. The 10-year's long leg doji right now. So we've got indecision between these 2 points. We get a closure above, decision made, get a bit of bullishness here to the 1.3. I would expect it not to be able to do that. This is a non-farm style setup to me. Klim says, don't tell them so I can buy the dip. He's messaging me right now. He says I've given away the secrets. You have 65k sub. Man, I'm a small minnow, Clim. Our community doesn't tell secrets anyway. We don't tell anyone else that isn't in the community. Shh, guys. Unless you're bringing them in and initiating them, and then of course share the word. Shizzy Wiznut says ETH will keep bouncing off 2600 until it gets a pump, and then we got the QQQ breakout. Let's have a look here. Is it breaking out yet, or is it just at the the tippity top? So the futures, that's where they've been. Let's have a look at the QQQ. Not breakout yet, but very, very close. It's tough. It's tough out there right now. It's the retail hour of power right now. What is for sure is biotech is the run here, and Beam is certainly one of the beneficiaries of that. I want to have a look at AMD. Is that up today or down? Down 1.81, 1.93. So I'd say that the Wall Street smacked it yesterday at the close there. They put so many puts on it. I want to see this mRNA. Wow, it fully reversed that little bit of 4% down. It's an animal. How is it doing this? I mean, I haven't looked at the report, but geez, that's an impressive turnaround already. 403 to 427. This is the biggest move I've seen on a stock really to get to this range. I mean, this is a $167 billion company. You might say, oh, Tom, things have doubled before. But when you put this in perspective, January 2020, $17, now $427. That's a very cool return. And this is not small. This is not like small fry. This thing's $167 billion. Wow. Oh, we got Aussie Cobber 71 coming in here and says $20. I know I've got a few other super chats there. $20 Australian. Thank you for everything, Tom. You're awesome. Now, you are awesome, Aussie, and everybody else. Let's give Aussie a bit of a clap there. Thank you so much, Aussie. Appreciate your $20, man. Thank you very much. mRNA to the moon. Oh, like this type of stuff convinces me things are wrong in the market right now. I mean, great company, but damn, look at it go. Thank you very much, Aussie Cobber. And then we've got Scott Morgan, super chat $5. I need to know the lowdown on JHX. Look, I mean, the reason why is because of obviously, their practices back many, many years ago with asbestos, man. And you can imagine what the reason is. Asbestos unfortunately killed my grandpa or my oppa. And no, I won't. I don't like them. And you know what? Sometimes you got to stand up. You don't invest in something you don't like. If you don't like it, some people don't like Coca-Cola. Fair enough. Just you don't have to invest in every stock. You can have some that you say, you know what? I don't like that thing. So that is the reasoning behind it. Let's have a look at AMD here. 116.85 here in the morning, down 1.69% here. ARCG performing well. Beam 7.77. I know they've been adding a lot of Beam. Beam supposedly is one of the better CRISPR stocks. Got bad amounts of cash on hand, but they have good technology from what I hear. I don't really understand the technology that much, guys. I just like the idea of it. You know, it sounds pretty good. Nah, I've done some research, but I have people smarter than me in the medical firms that say it's not bad. It's pretty good. And I'll go with their expertise on those. Sherlock Holmes says, I don't like Hood. There you go, man. Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate your support. But yeah, look, it happened a long time ago. But I guess I always just go with, you know, for me, it's not one that I go with. No JHX. mRNA had only $6 billion in revenue. How is that market cap even remotely realistic? I'll say this, 2021, Ralph. Remember, Square just bought Afterpay that doesn't even make money and trades at a mere 41 PS. for 39 billion Australian dollars. So everything's value in this market, don't worry. There will be a reckoning eventually on some of these earnings results. Obviously, we're seeing the sugar rush of growth. There'll be some companies that win out huge here, some companies that get obliterated, and the market will become shady. You know, I feel like the US 500, if someone was to say to me, like say Warren Buffett famously says, oh, the US 500 is the best investment, and it kicks most people's asses if you don't know what you're doing, damn right. It's done a great, amazing job. However, there will be a point here where I feel like you're going to have, let's call it 300 companies going up and 200 companies going down. And these 200 companies will be not investing in themselves, not investing in innovation. And then you'll have them being removed and replaced by new companies. And we'll have a transitional period. And we've seen that a few times. We've seen that a little bit in Europe. But let's take my index for just a quick example here into the market open. I just want to show you this. So a lot of people think, oh, our market's so high. When you think about it, this was it in 07. We have only just repicked back to where we were in 07. And you can see that massive gain control we've had here. But the reason why we took so long to improve was because we had so much crud that went bust around this time, mostly iron ore, mostly oil stocks that weren't worth anything, etc. And it took a long time for the index to come good. What I think is going to happen with the S&P, and you may agree, let's see if you guys agree or disagree with me, is we're going to have that 300 great companies, and we're going to have the 200 bad companies, and these are going to be going really bad, and these are going to, and of the 300 companies, 100 of them are going to be sweet, and 200 of them are going to be, okay. So it's overall not going to be as easy as just saying the S&P 200 is S&P 500 is the best market to invest in. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Why isn't PFE pumping? Cody says, yeah, that's true. What's your opinion of a Pins call? Pins is a pretty good social media platform. What I would usually look for in that kind of thing, Gareth, is try to do a little bit of social arb on Pins. So have a look at the trackers of apps. So have a look at the app downloads over since the last 30, 60 days, see if they're going down or up. Look, I had a look at Pins before the earnings, and it was on a downward trajectory, if I remember rightly, like maybe a month ago. See if that's maybe ticking up. Read the reviews on the most recent output. Search it on Google. Some of these Pinterest, some of these social media platforms, even though Wall Street does do it to a degree, I feel like social arb is still something you can do with some of these platforms. You can really see sometimes the earnings in those just with downloads across the world. And there's some great trackers there. Yeah, Etsy really wants to try to hold above this line. So down 9.5%, but yeah, both of these, this was coming straight into that previous resistance becomes support line. Kim says SE just broke all-time highs. Yeah, that's cool. Let's have a look at Pins now. Wow. Whoa. Yeah. Go. Come on. Come on, Beam. 9.25%. Yeah. And the old Crispy Crisp, 3.41. Not bad. What's the rest of the market? 0.16, 0.13 up. So very flat across the board there. Where's the stupid Pins? There it is, down 1.28%. It's probably a little bit early to really think about this one too much. I would like to see it consolidate for a little bit. Let's have a look over at Twitter just to see how it reacted after a bad earnings call. Just again. So Twitter went down some more, started to rally, and I remember we got super bullish around here. However, there were probably signs after it broke past this resistance breakdown that you could have gotten in. It depends whether you're prepared to just go, okay, I love the company, I want to hold it, or whether you are time specific. If you're buying a call with time specificness, you may need to wait for more confirmation. And that's going to be a lightning bolt. It's going to be consolidation, breakout, those types of things. you'll need to see volume come back into it. Ideally, you get some decent volume kind of spiking at the same time. That would be good. Gold back down to 1,800. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, that's nasty. Dollar index also down. Ugh. Don't know what's going on there. It's a pretty nasty close, actually. Yeah. They first they pumpy, then they dumpy. Hey, Dave? All right, guys. Well, we'll see you tomorrow for non-farms. We'll start a little bit earlier. We'll start an hour and a half before the market open. I'll get the cam on and all be good. And I wish everyone the best today. It looks like most of the money's kind of moving through the biotechnology at this stage. And there's been a little bit of buy in the dip here in the morning on some of the stocks that got bashed. And overall, money is coming out of hood, it looks like, as well. So be careful out there. We don't know much about what this jobs number brings in. And it looks like we're going to be at the kind of tippity top before the non-farms comes out. Good luck, everybody. Bye for now. Remember, be careful about gold. Non-farms is going to be brutal on this one. I can feel it.